Hi everyone, welcome to week 2. So what you're going to be doing this week is you're going to be doing several different things. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to open the part 1 and you will be watching a stress and resilience lecture that I actually gave on campus last spring. It kind of condenses everything that we're going to be talking about in this class. Obviously, in the class, we're going to get much more in depth, but it gives you a really good overview of the things that we're going to be talking about in this class, and a really good overview about the concepts of the things that are behind what we're going to be talking about and reading about and writing about in this class. So it's a really good overview. So I'd like you to watch that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write a summary on what you learned from that lecture. And again, this is kind of a big point earner for the class. This assignment here is worth 50 points. So it's really important that you spend some time watching it and then you also write up just kind of what you learned. Again, what I want you to write up in what you learned is still the stream of consciousness writing. I don't want you to struggle with a well thought out essay or needing even to be grammatically correct. Not that that's not important. It is very much for other classes. But for this class, if you get too much into that thought process of trying to figure out how to write up a well thought out essay, it's really not in touch with the emotional part of your brain. So just for this class, I really want you to focus more on just stream of consciousness writing. So again, the very first thing that you're going to be doing is watching that stress and resilience lecture. And then part 2 and part 3 of this week are your typical do a reading, you're going to do a content quiz, you'll watch a video that goes along with the reading, and then you'll write up a reflection. Each of those modules also has a very short introductory video, so I won't go too in depth in the instructions right here, but it's important that you understand kind of how the whole week is laid out, and then also that each module will have its own introductory video. And then the stress and resilience tools are cementing moments of joy, de-stress with Dr. Elaine, the power of pause and present moment awareness, and all of those are explained in the resilience tool folder. And also the power of pause and present moment awareness are also explained in your book. De-stress with Dr. Elaine is a guided audio that you can access just by clicking a link in that folder. So those should all be self-explanatory. The big thing that you need to know is down at the bottom of the page, there's something called the M-Wave or heart coherence lecture. Actually, we're going to get into that content next week, but if you are planning to do the M-Wave as your final, and again, refer back to your syllabus of what that means, but one of your options for your final project is to come into the Mind and Heart Lab and do what is called the M-Wave, which is a software that measures your heart rate variability, which is a great measurement of stress and emotion. And the idea is to use that software and then also to learn self-calming tools and to be able to calm yourself down. So it's kind of an emotional biofeedback tool, but it's like exercise. You get better at the things that you most often routinely experience. So it's really important to come. It's not just something that you come in and do once. You're going to come in and do it routinely. Now, in a regular semester, I usually require it 10 times, and that probably says that in the syllabus, but for this class, because we're so condensed, I'm going to require it 8 times. I would prefer that you come in twice a week, but if you can't come in twice a week and you can come in like once a week, but you can spread it out, it's important that you just don't do it back to back. So for those 8 times, even if you were on campus 4 times, but you spread it out by several hours, that would work also. So say you had a class that you were coming to campus to go to, and the class was at 11 o'clock, you could come in at 10 o'clock before that class, and then you could come in again at like 1:30 or so after the class. I'm not sure what time the classes meet, but it would have to be spread out by several hours. And again, I need to say that for this summer, the Mind and Heart Lab hours will only be open on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 2. So if you are choosing to do that option as your final, you need to jump in right away. So you would only watch that M-Wave link If you are choosing to do that as your final, again, everybody will watch it next week, whether you're choosing to do it for your final or not. But if it'll just give you some background information about what you're actually measuring if you come into the lab. So it's important to watch that before you come into lab if you're choosing to do that as your final. You might email me just to kind of give me a heads up if you are going to come into the lab, because we're, again, just the lab is running a lot slower this summer because we don't have as many students on campus. So, but I am here on Mondays and Wednesdays from 10 to 2. So again, you don't need to watch that very last link now this week unless you are doing the M-Wave as your final option, or if you want to get ahead, because again, everybody else is going to be watching it next week, so you could get ahead with it. But I'm just not going to give you too much information because it really is skipping ahead in content. So that's this week. Do the stress and resilience lecture, module 1, module 2, all the readings, quiz and assignments within those modules only if you are planning to do the M-Wave as your final option. Do you need to go under the M-Wave link? And then, as always, every week you'll be doing the resilience tools. So I hope you're having a really good week, and I hope you're settling into the semester, and take very good care.